Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to join me. I wonder if you can guess what theme I'm going to be working on now. Yep, frogs. I like frogs the same as I like beetles. And my friend Amy from Crafty Cat has just released a frog kit, and I think she's called it Ribbit. I'm actually recording this before she releases it, so um, I've had to hang on releasing this video. She asked me not to put it out until she'd released the kit, which makes perfect sense. So my cover that I'm going to make, or that I'm hoping to make, is inspired completely by my friend Carol Rigby, who sent me a journal that she'd made using corrugated card. Let me just move those out the way. So it's a piece of corrugated card, and you probably can't see it from the camera, but I've gessoed it, and I've put some green paint on it, and I've covered it in Mod Podge and sealant, so it is quite sturdy. And I've strengthened the spine, and I am going to put card on the inside, so it will toughen it up and stiffen it a little bit as well. The journal that Carol made for me, I think the way that she did it was cutting a slot in the cardboard and then threading that through so that she'd hinged it on the inside, and then obviously sticking the fabric on the inside. I didn't cut the card because I think I'm just going to make such a mess of it. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I've got a piece of card that I'm going to attach this to, so that will open like that, and there's going to be a pocket here, and this I'm going to put a grommet in there with some ribbon so that it'll thread around it. So it's the same principle as the one that Carol did, but I'm just constructing mine slightly differently. So that's going to be the cover so far. As I said, the kit that I'm using is from Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm actually using a couple of her kits. I'm using her frog kit, which I think she's called Ribbit, as that's the noise that frogs make. But I'm also using her Torn Papers. Oh, gosh, is it called Torn Papers and Mushrooms or Torn Papers and Ferns? I'll remind myself, and I'll put it in the description below, because it just went really well. Mushrooms and frogs just really went well together. So this is the mushrooms and ferns. So I've kind of put my papers together. There's a little pocket that I've done just there. I had some leftover Jeremy Fisher papers from a journal I'd made a while ago. So these are Amy's frog papers. So I've put the papers together with some other book pages that I had. So it's going to have 4 signatures. That's a digital print that I found. I think that's from the Graphics Fairy. So there's I want a journaling space in here as well. I may put more papers in, but at the moment that's the torn paper, and I'm going to say torn paper and fern, and I'll correct myself when I look in the book. This Jeremy Fisher image is from Amy's spring kit from last year, and I had to use it. I think Jeremy Fisher is my favourite Beatrix Potter story, and that is my favourite image, because I don't know if you can see, but the trout's coming up and it nibbles his toes, but it spits him out when he doesn't like the taste of his raincoat. So that, as you can see, these papers, the fern ones, went so well. I just love it. I'm really pleased how the papers have printed out. I need to add something on there as well. I just think it's turned out so, putting the papers together, I'm really pleased with it. So, yeah, so this is what I'm going to be working on. Okay, so I'll put those to one side. I'll put them up there. I never know where I'm starting, a starting point when I make a journal. So I've sat and had a little think, and I'm still not ever so sure what I'm doing. But what I think I want to do is, I've got an envelope, and it's got the flap. So it's a brand new envelope. I've done nothing with it. And I was thinking that I could cover it and attach it as a page on one of the signatures. It's just short enough, and then I would have to put something on the back, and my thought was I'd make that into a pocket, add a piece of paper. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make things that I think I would like with the journal, but not make any decisions as to whether I'm going to use it or not until I've got some together. It kind of takes me a little while to get going. I always panic at the start of a project that I don't know where I'm going. So I think I wanted to use this paper. This is Amy's from her spring kit last year, which is where I got that Jeremy Fisher image from. And I think what I want to do is, it's going to be a pocket that opens at the top. So I'm just going to do it and have it as a starting point for the project. So I'm going to glue on this. And as I said before, the glue book that I've got, it's off screen because it's a rather graphic medical dictionary or medical journal book. It's a really big, thick book, but the images on it leave an awful lot to be desired. You really don't want to be seeing them. They're not nice. They're not pleasant. So I've got it out the way. Can't see it. It's gone. So I'm going to put that on there, up to that window. I do want to cover that window up a little bit, so I'm just going to move it across ever so slightly. I can never get papers on straight. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Ah, sticky, sticky, sticky. Probably my paper's not straight. That's better. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll do me. Does anybody else struggle with the start of a project? I can always cut this a little bit shorter because I don't want it quite as long as the book pages that I've got. I always do doubt myself when I start a journal, and I've had some people join me that are new to making journals. Look at that, got it all folded over. They are new to making journals, and they've asked me a few questions about, you know, how you start a project. And for me, starting a new project is probably the hardest part. I always doubt that I'm going to know what to do in that project. And then as I get going, I kind of get more into it. I think I'm going to put that across there at the bottom. I think I am. Trying to use up some little bits and pieces as well. Another question that I'd had from somebody, and I think I did reply to her, was that when they've used envelopes and collaged on them, they end up being really stiff and thick, and are mine. I don't think mine are, but if I'm doing collage on something else, I only use 80 weight paper. I don't go with anything that's any thicker. Maybe that's, you know, maybe if you're using a heavier weight paper to try and collage with, then it will obviously make what you're making that bit thicker, won't it? My tear ruler. So I want to put that on there. Just going to tear it off. Get that stuck on. I haven't really thought any further about wanting to use this paper on here. I'm not convinced it's going to work as an extra page type pocket. I'm not convinced, but I'm going to give it a go. And if it doesn't, then it'll be used for something else, won't it? And it'll be one of those learning curves that we just like to be on all the time. What else have I got? I'm just reaching my scraps and bits box. Not sure what I've got inside it actually. I think I'm going to put that there. That's just one of Snip's. I think that's one of Amy's papers. I keep all my little bits because you really just don't know when you're going to need just a little bit of something to go in a project. So what are you all up to? I've had a few people ask me about the tag books. I really enjoy making them. I've really, really enjoyed it. And for me, as a kind of in-between project, they've been really useful to kind of empty my mind of what I've been doing and just have a bit of fun. I know a lot of people are making them at the moment, but that really doesn't bother me. I don't mind if I'm making something that other people are. For me, the joy is having a go at something and making it. And if I like it, or rather if somebody else likes it, I'm always thrilled that somebody has liked something that I've made. Kind of amazes me, actually. We're a bit funny like that, people, though, aren't we? We sometimes need somebody to say, that was really good. My husband doesn't get it, but that's fine. He knows I enjoy doing it, so he just leaves me to it, which is great. He works out on his Jeep and I have a go with my journaling. I don't write in them. I like having other people's journals. For me, the joy is having something that somebody's created. Oopsie daisy, that's what I really like. I don't know about you. For me, they're they are works of art, aren't they? They're something that somebody has put an awful lot of effort into. Put that up there, I think. And thought about and worried about and stressed about putting it together. And then if somebody says that they like it, it's just such a boost to your confidence. So I guess what I wanted to say to you all is thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate that you like what I make. I know not all of you do, but that's fine. I don't expect everybody to. That's not going to be quite dry, but I just want to fold that because I want to see. So that's what it would look like. So, for example, I'm not saying it's going at the front on this signature, but it would go like that and be a flip. And I do like it. What do you think? That's all right, isn't it? If you don't like it, you can say so. I know not everybody likes frogs, the same as when I made the bug ones, not everybody liked bugs. See, I think I'm going to put it, probably, on one of the plainer ones. So, for example, I think this will be, this might be the first signature. I haven't got them in any particular order at the moment. That could be like that. It would open up to be like that. And then on the back, oh, that actually goes really well, doesn't it? Because we've got the greens with the snails and the grasshoppers. Yeah, so that's my plan. The fold is there, so I want that to go slightly over the fold. I know that's going to make it quite chunky, isn't it? Let's just have a look. But that actually makes quite a nice pocket, doesn't it? So I think that is what I will do. So I think I'm going to glue that. I want it to be stiff because that page, it is, I do want it to be a pocket on that back side. So I'm going to give it a really good gluing. And then we'll decorate the front of it. And of course the back is going to need decorating because it's going to be a pocket. I don't know what I'm doing at the minute. Hang on, folks. And who knows if that's even a straight fold. I certainly don't. If I put that at the bottom, oh, it's actually not bad. Yeah, that is quite straight. So I want to leave that. I'm going to fold it, make my mind up, make my mind up what I'm doing. So that will go on there. I'll attach it to the back, so it's going to be a pocket. And then on the front, it's going to be a flip. So I'll be covering that bit. And I may well stitch round this before I put a tag in it. Okay, let's decorate that. Sorry, I'm a bit hit and miss this morning, aren't I? But as I said to you, you know, starting a project, I am a bit weird. Don't know what I'm doing. I've got a little book that's got some Jeremy Fisher in, and I love this image. This is the one where is being eaten, and it's the taste of the toad again, taste of the Macintosh. So it says down there, luckily the trout did not like the taste of Jeremy Fisher's Macintosh and spat him out again. So that's when he's being spat out. And then we've got that quote there where the trout's coming out and swallowing him. And I think that's going to go up there. I think I want to put that on there. Probably there. I'm just conscious that I might be cutting a little bit of this off, so I don't want to put it too close up to the top. Does anybody else feel better about starting a project when they've actually made something to go in it? I wonder if you do. I have actually made a couple of bits and pieces to go into this, and I'll show you them in a moment. Oh, that's Willy Wonky. That's a bit better. I like that. So I'm guessing most people like Beatrix Potter. I actually want to do a Beatrix Potter journal. I have got a book about the story of her life, like she's not written it herself, it's her biography. And I really want to make a book and use some of her images and things. That's going to go there. And then Mr. Jeremy Fisher is going to be free falling down that page. And then we've got a starting point, and I bet, gosh, it's took me 17 minutes to get this far, folks. It's going to be a slow one, isn't it? I just want to make sure that I'm gluing his feet. I don't want him coming off when he's free falling. I've got quite a few copies of Beatrix Potter books. Sometimes when I go in our local charity shop, they have them in there, and they have them for like 50p a book. So I can never say no to a Jeremy Fisher book, or in fact any Beatrix Potter book. There we go. That's where I want him. He's tumbling out. What do you think? What do we think? Make sure his little fingers are stuck on. So as I say, I might cut this down slightly, which is fine. And then what I need is, oh, you see, it does annoy me when I do that. When you open something when it's wet, the crease, it creases in like a ridge. Now you're not going to see that because that's going to be where it's going in the book, if you see what I mean. That bit is going to go in there, so you don't actually see that. It's just it creases the paper for when you're working, but I've got that bit done. So what I need to do is cover the back. What would I like to cover the back? I've got quite a few of Amy's papers here. I quite like that with that. I think I want it to be a writing space, but I might well put a pocket on it. So I think I'm going to give it a go with something like that. I think this paper is actually from her 1920s, 1920 something, or In the City. I've got both of them, so I'm just not sure which it is. I'm going to cut the paper about 4 1/4 wide. And I think I do want those flowers. I think I do. Take the edges off. And as I say, I think I might well stitch all the way around this when I've done. going to go on there. And the crease is actually there, so that's going to be fine. If I put it there, that's going to be just perfect. Just want to go around the edge because I don't particularly want to see the white envelope where I've misstuck it, because I always misstick them. And then height wise, I think, oh, I don't think I said how big the journal was. I'm going to do it 7 inches. So the journal is about 7 inches high by about 5 and a bit wide. So it's quite a small one, or smaller than I've done normally. Let's cut that at 7 inches, and that should fit. I'll need to trim a bit off, won't I? Trying to keep my work area a little bit. Yeah, that's the right way. So that's going to go on there. That still folds, and I'm going to stitch around it. Oh, it's so pretty. See, I feel much better now I've started. Oh, Carol. I'm putting glue there. Am I putting glue there? No, I'm not. Because it's going that way. Yeah, that's the way. So I'm going to glue this bit. Because I don't want glue. I don't want to close this pocket up, do I? Times I do that. I might need to go around and just touch up the corners. Oh dear, and of course I've used my sticky glue. Used my sticky glue book to glue that. Right, that goes that way. So get it round. That's going to go on there and on there. And then that will get sealed up, and that will be the pocket, because it's going to be a pocket there. So I will seal that bit up there, and I am going to stitch down it. It's just I've got that a little bit tacky at the moment. I can glue across the bottom. That's it. That's that. Go on then, let's just glue up here. So put the glue there. And on here, on the edge. It's quite hard sometimes doing these journal pages, isn't it? When you've got to think about where you're gluing, where you're not gluing, to glue or not to glue. And I haven't sealed it up, so I have still got a pocket. Hopefully you can see. And I'm going to just trim that off. And Jeremy Fisher's eyes need gluing down a bit. Make sure they're glued on. We don't want his eyes popping up, do we? Perfect. Yep, he's glued down. He's down. So what I'm thinking then is that I've got something inside there, look. No, I haven't. It's on the outside. There we go. That goes like that. And then that will attach on there, I think. So I may well stitch that there and there. Top and bottom. I'm going to leave it free floating at the moment. So what do you think? Do you like that? Okay, one thing done. Hurrah. Another thing that I was going to do is I was making these, I think my previous video is these, where we've made little holders, ephemera holders. And I thought I might make one for the journal. And again, I was thinking, fatal I know, but I was thinking whether to do one on, to have it on one of these signatures. But I think that might make it too bulky. So my other thought was to make it to go into the back of the journal book. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll do this and then I'll leave you alone. Oh, I need to know what size I want to do it, don't I? That would always be good. So it is. So that measures just less, it's about 5 inches. So I'm guessing I want it really to be about 4.5 inches. Let me just get my score pad thing. I'm not sure I actually need it because it's quite scored because I've been messing about with it. If I was to fold it there, there's 4.5 there. So I think I am going to just do it. Let's do it there. And then I don't want that to be much more than 4.5. I might cut some off that actually. So I'm going to fold it there for now. You can see what size it is. So for this, it's 80 weight, 80 GSM weight paper, and I've just folded it in half, and then I've stuck 2 pieces of it together, and I'm just going to straighten it up. Oh, Carol can't even cut straight, look, or cut through. There we go. So that will be like a closure. I don't think I want as much for a tuck on there. So that's going to go like that. Okay, just edge it. I'm just going to get rid of these white bits that I've got. Not sure what I'm doing, you see. I'm just trying to killing time while I'm thinking. So I think what I want to do is, I'd thought about it, and I've got these little pockets that I'd made a while ago with some numbers on. And my thought was that I would put those on here, on the inside. Maybe have a lighter one in the middle. As little pockets. And then across here, I thought that I would have a little place to put some ephemera. What do we think? I think I'm going to do it. I think that's what I'm going to do. This is just paper bag that I've had. I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter. It's not quite straight anyway. So that's going to go there, across on there. Sticking to my finger already. Right, cut that off there. Yeah, okay, I'm going to stick that on and then I'm going to go and stitch around it. One moment. Okay, so just to recap what I did on this, I'm not sure I explained it very well. It's the same as the ones that we were making in the last video. So I've just folded it into the size that I want it to be. So folding it over like that. So that's going to be the flap. I've stitched all the way around it. I've stitched the little pocket in, so that can be, you know, put some little ephemera in there for when I get everything put together. I want to use these as little pockets. on here. I just thought they'd be a bit different. So I am going to do that. I'm going to put those on there. So let's just get those glued using my unforgiving fast tack glue. So where I put it down is where it's going to have to stay, because once you've put it down, that's it. So I don't want it to be too close to the top, but I want it to be close enough. And if it was level, it would be a bonus. So that one there. These are just little pockets that I've folded. I've had them in my made these don't know what to do with them box for a while, and I just thought, you know, the frog papers of Amy's are, I want to say, a little bit grungy, but you'd expect that with a frog, wouldn't you? And these aren't perfectly sized, you know, they're not dead exact. And then I want to put that one in the middle. So as I say, Amy's papers, I mean, they're beautiful. I love them. I really do like them. I need to sit and think about which order they're all going to go in, don't I? Indeed I do. But at least I've got the 4 signatures together, which kind of gives me an idea as to what I'm doing. But I do tend to chop and change my mind a little bit. So they're on there. I keep looking at my little Jeremy Fisher pocket. I'm so pleased with that. I really am pleased with it. Anyway, stop. Little cards I've got that can go in there. Might need to cut a bit off because they do hang over the top a little bit, don't they? Does that matter if they hang over the top a bit? I don't know. And I'll find some fibres, I think, to go in those. So then that's going to be a little pocket. Remind myself, I'm just going to slip them in there just to remind myself they're little pockets. I probably would cut those down so they don't quite hang over the top. And then that, if I could find my book. Don't forget this is going to have paper stuck in it. But that, I think, will go there quite nicely. And then it'll be a pocket behind it. I'll leave it as a tuck spot, I think, or put it in the middle. And then it will open and you've got somewhere to store your bits and pieces. So in my mind, that's where I'm going to use it. Subject to change, just thinking, but I don't think I think I've made it too wide, but I was just thinking it might go, no, it won't go in the middle, but it could be just an extra, you know, an extra in a book. And I'm going to tie it. I'm going to have to glue this ribbon on the back. Haven't got any green ribbon, so I'm going to, for now, I'm gonna tie one of my silly bows that I struggle with. Oh, not too bad. I'm going to give myself extra ribbon so I can come back and redo that. So I will glue that on the back there, otherwise you'll pull it out, won't you? But that's 2 things I've done. Okay, not a lot that I've got done, I know. Let me just show you the other things that I've kind of been putting together. So I've got a library card that I want to put in the front of the book, I think. Either there or it's going to stick underneath on the front, underneath the book cover. So I might do that, undecided. A little pocket that's going to go somewhere, and that's just going to have a little booklet in. That just needs flattening a little bit. This is one of Amy's CD cases. I've got another one somewhere. Shall we see if we can find it? I've got a little box of bits that I want to put together. Here it is. So this is one of Amy's CD cases. A lot of Amy's kits now, she does put the CD cases in, but because this journal's a little bit smaller, I've printed 2 to a page because the full-size ones won't fit on what I'm doing. So I've closed it together to make it, I'm going to use it as a pocket. So it's going to be a pocket that goes on a journal page somewhere, and something will be tucked behind it. But what I haven't put any cellophane on it. I printed on the wrong side of it. But I've stuck one of this frog, and this is one of Amy's frogs that comes with the kit, and I've just left it as a little pocket, look, just so that you can tuck a couple of little things in behind it. And I thought that was really cute, so I've done that, and I'm going to do the same with this one. So I'm going to do that now. Why not? It's my last parting thing with you before I let you go. So I'm just going to glue it together. It's not going to be a CD case that you can use. I'm using it as a different sort of pocket, aren't I? Oops. Up there. And then for this one, I've got this frog that comes, there's a sheet of frogs that you can fussy cut. And my fussy cutting's never perfect. But that, I think I'm going to stick that one on the outside. And then that can be a tuck spot here. The same as I did this one. So it can have something tucked inside in there like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I've got two little pockets. So I don't want to stick him too far down. I'm going to stick him around the edge. Gone too far with that, haven't I? Stick around the edge there, because I don't want to close this CD case up completely. Otherwise it won't be a pocket. But then he is just stuck on there. And I think I might need to to glue that bit down. Because I want this bit to be the pocket. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue underneath here. Can't see if my glue's coming out. Yeah, I think it is. Just to stick that bit down so it's not flapping, because I don't want it to get torn. That's it. Perfect. So then that will be a little tuck spot there. And then that will go, what I was thinking with one of these was for it to go on the back of one of the signatures and to be a tuck spot. Yeah, so that's my idea for that. So that's using Amy's CD cases. So 2 to a page, close them up, but the pocket, decorate it, and the pocket's going to be that bit at the front. I might put some words or something on there. I'm not too sure. So I've got 2 of those, so that they can go on signatures, can't they? I need to flatten that other piece. I've got 2 cards. I think these are from Mrs. Cogg's. Mrs. Cogg has a frog kit that I've had for a while. I've used it a couple of times. So they're going to be flips on a page. So I'm going to have one in a signature going that way and one in a signature going that way. So I've got those 2 done as well. Just some quite simple things, really. I've got one of the Tim Holtz, never remember what you call them, but they're going to be little pockets in there, aren't they? So they can go together. And then the kit that Amy has comes with all sorts of journaling cards. Sorry, I hope you can see them. Different, all sorts. So I've backed all of these ready, so they're good to go. And I've also got the ones from Mrs. Cogg as well. So I've got her frog ones that I might use, and they're all backed as well. So a good range of things that I've got to use in this journal. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. I'm thinking that's going to go there. I said that, didn't I? Yeah. So I think you can kind of get a feel for what I'm doing. That's going to go on there like that. And I just think it's going to be a super cute journal, I hope. So that's where I'm at, and that's where what I'm doing. And I hope that you like what I'm doing. I hope the lighting's been okay as well. So take care, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.